Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wa ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika la, wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu rasuluhu. My dear brothers, my dear sisters in Islam, Bismillah ta'ala, we're going to, inshallah ta'ala, embark upon a project that I've been wanting to do for a long time, but just due to life, as they say, the hardships of life and what we go through from day to day, the tasks sometimes seem very tedious. So Bismillah ta'ala, we want to talk about, inshallah ta'ala, the layman's guide to understanding Al-Qadar. Al-Qadar, one of the arkan, al-Islam wal-Iman, one of the essentials, brothers and sisters, that if you don't know this, then your religion, your deen, your understanding is suspect. Naqis, is deficient. So Bismillah ta'ala, many of the Muslims, they complain about things that happen in life. And as a Muslim, we're supposed to say when something happens, Qadar Allah ma shafa'al. Whatever Allah wills, happen. So, Bismillah ta'ala, we want to take a layman's guide look. Inshallah ta'ala, we're going to use some of the famous books, Bismillah ta'ala, and some of the contemporary works to try to understand the very basics, the very essentials that we need to understand this masail al-aqaid, this issue of aqidah. So, Bismillah ta'ala, we find, inshallah ta'ala, in Surah Al-Qamar, Allahu Tabarak Ta'ala, He went on to say concerning this, after I say, A'udhu Billahi Minash Shaitanir Rajeem, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, Inna kulla shay'in khalaqnahu bil qadar. Extremely important. There's many ayat, many hadith that explain and verify the importance of this topic. So, indeed, Allah Ta'ala says, I have created all things according to the predestination, or the divine decree. This is chapter 54, verse number 49. So when we look at this, we find also that derived from the same root, al-qadr, the amount from which Laylatul Qadr. So during the month of Ramadan, everybody, they're trying to catch the night of decree. Laylatul Qadr, the night of which Allah sends down this annual decree that the creation comes. It is synonymous to Qadar in the next context. So when we look at this, the divine names, Al-Qadir, the most able, Al-Qadir, the all-powerful, and Al-Muqtadir, the omnipotent or the omnipotent, are all derived from the root Qada, meaning Allah, His decision is implementation of Allah's decree, Al-Mufradat, as in the verse Allah Ta'ala went on to say, وَإِذَا قَضَى أَمْرًا فَإِنَّمَا يَقُولُ لَهُ كُنْ فَيَكُونُ. Allah Ta'ala went on to say, يَقُولُ لَهُ كُنْ فَيَكُونُ. When He decrees a matter, He only says to it, be. So, this is easy for the Muslim to understand, but many people, they have a lot of shubha, a lot of doubts trying to understand this affair. So, Bismillah ta'ala, we're going to look at it, inshallah ta'ala. Trying to make this easy for the eye to understand, Bismillah ta'ala. So we find, inshallah ta'ala, as we take this piece over here, we look at, inshallah ta'ala, the next piece, where Allah ta'ala went on to say, وَكَانَ أَمْرُ اللَّهِ قَدْرًا مَقْدُورًا. Allah's command is a determined decree. It's determined. Allah's command is determined. So some of the ulama, like Ibn Hajar al-Asqalani, held the opposite view of some of the other scholars. He said that the scholars say Qada is the general decree from eternity, and the Qada and al-Qadir refers to the details of that decree and how they are implemented. So you can look in Fath al-Bari, which is the explanation of Sahih Bukhari, the overwhelming accepted. So inshallah ta'ala, we're going to get into some discussion concerning this through some of the other pages. But we're just trying to, inshallah ta'ala, give you some ayat so you can see where all this information, the dalil, comes from. قال الله تعالى ليقضي الله أمرا كان مفعولا. Allah ta'ala went on to say that Allah might accomplish a matter already ordained. So this is in Surah Al-Anfal, chapter 8, verse 42. We encourage you, brothers and sisters, to look at some other translations, inshallah ta'ala. This is the one that I was able to get my hands on at the time. Another ayah, Allah ta'ala went on to say, وَكَانَ أَمْرُ اللَّهِ مَفْعُولًا. Allah ta'ala says concerning this, that with Allah is the order that is already emphasized and decreed. Position making Qadar, the universal general external decree, and Qadar, the individual development or application of that in time, the Encyclopedia of Islam. So we're taking this, brothers, from a very beautiful book written by a scholar who lived in our century. His name was Hafid al-Hakimi. And he wrote a very beautiful, beautiful book, 200 questions on Aqidah. And some of that book has been translated by Sheikh Bilal Phillips and Abdul Rauf Shakir. Hafidahumullah, may Allah bless both of our elders, some of our grandfathers in the religion. We find the book, it is called A'lam al-Sunnah Manshura. It is basically the propagated Sunnah, ya ikhwan. Lil Hafid al-Hakimi. So when we look at this topic, we can't just let any layman, any Orientalist, any mustashrikun, some fool from the street who thinks he knows what's going on. We got to take this, inshallah ta'ala, from the ulama and their understanding of the people from the past, what is known, ya ikhwan, as the Salaf al-Salih. We want to take from the Masadir al-Talaqqi, the ancient sources, the older sources, or the people who go back to those sources. So inshallah ta'ala, when we're discussing this issue, many of the Muslims, it is imperative, my brothers and sisters, it is imperative that we understand this issue, because it is part of our iman to understand this. We don't have iman, ya ikhwan. So we look at this, al-Qadar, it is one of the articles of faith. We have to believe in al-Qadar is one of the 6 articles of faith. The articles of faith are, which we all know, Amru billahi wa malaikatihi wa kutubihi wa rusulihi wal yawm al-akhir wa qadar khayrihi wa sharrihi, and to also believe in the last day, yawm al-ba'th. So we know, ya ikhwan, from the hadith of the Prophet sallallahu wa tu'mina bil qadri khayrihi wa sharrihi, and you believe in the divine decree, it's good and it's bad. If you don't, ya ikhwan, your religion is naqis. So we want to, inshallah ta'ala, take from this other page here, because there are some important points that need to be extracted from this. So when the terms Qadar and Qada are mentioned separately, they are synonymous. But when mentioned together, Qadar means the predestination, and what is predestined occurs, it is called Qadar. Okay, this is taken from Majmu' al-Fatawa, the Shaykh al-Islam, Abu Abbas Ahmed al-Harrani, Shaykh al-Islam, better known as Ibn Taymiyyah. Also, ya ikhwan, as you see here, this verse concerns the verse that we brought before, the incident of the Prophet ﷺ's adopted son Zayd ibn Haritha, who divorced from the Prophet ﷺ's cousin Zainab, and the Prophet ﷺ subsequently married to her. The Prophet ﷺ tried to avoid and hid Zayd's marital problems from the community. However, it occurred. So the Qadr took place. Allah, He knew that would happen, even though the people that didn't like it, it happened. And that's why you find the very famous terminology, and we're going to bring a few of them. And hopefully, inshallah ta'ala, you can jot this down, write it out, because when people come to you with garbage, you can hit them. These are qawaid. You can punch them with this stuff, not physical punches, but intellectual punches. MashaAllah can, wa ma lam yasha lam yakun. Whatever Allah decreed will be. Whatever Allah willed will be. Whatever Allah won't be, ya ikhwan. So Allah's command, it is already determined. Decree means that Allah's command, which He decreed, must inevitably come to pass. Nothing can prevent or avert it. For whatever He wills happens, and whatever He does not decree does not happen. MashaAllah can, wa ma lam yasha lam yakun. I want you to memorize that. MashaAllah can, wa ma lam yasha lam yakun. When people come up to me and they talk about nonsense, we just hit them with that. MashaAllah can, wa ma lam yasha lam yakun. So when we look at it, ya ikhwan, that there was the battle of Badr, and it was not planned. The Prophet ﷺ and his companions had set out to capture the Meccan idolaters, their caravan, but found themselves instead confronted with an army of Meccans more than 3 times their number. This verse affirms Allah's decree that He would bring glory to Islam and its supporters in the Battle of Badr, while disgracing the idolaters and its people. The companions had no knowledge of what had happened. It was out of Allah's compassion that He did that. Tafsir Ibn Kathir. So ya ikhwan, something that takes great planning. Sometimes many people that talk about planning, sometimes the qadr of Allah comes and you just got to make do with what you have. So inshallah ta'ala, This is the layman's understanding of Qadar or Qadar. But we're going to, inshallah ta'ala, go on deeper, binillahi ta'ala. This is just a small reminder. I've been asked by a few people to try to explain this. I myself did this research about a month and a half ago, but due to my life and some of the things that are going on in it, I've not been able to make this presentation to now. I hope Allah Azza wa Jal, He accepts it. Binillahi ta'ala. This is brought to you by the Real Dawah Dynamics. Inshallah ta'ala, may Allah accept it from us. Wa akhira dawana and alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Learn your deen.